MotorWeek is made possible by Auto Value and Bumper to Bumper and TireRack.com.
This time on MotorWeek 92, we'll travel to England, where we'll take you on a guided tour through the history of Jaguar. From the first to the latest, from the street to the track, and into the future. So come along with us and savor the roar of the cat.
MotorWeek 92, television's automotive magazine, is made possible by funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the financial support of viewers like you. Your host from MotorWeek 92, John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome to a very special edition of MotorWeek 92. We're glad to have you with us. There are some cars that carry with them a certain dignity, a heritage and character that sets them apart from the run-of-the-mill daily transportation that we all rely upon. The cars of Jaguar belong to that unique group and have stayed a part of it by never losing sight of the qualities that made that first Jaguar Special. Take the XJS, for example. During its long history, changes have come gradually, and Jaguar has tampered as little as possible with the magnificent V12 engine or its singular styling. So as part of our Jaguar Special, let's look at the 1992 version of the XJS and witness evolution in action. The first XJS rolled off the factory floor in 1975, but it faced an uphill battle for acceptance among Jaguar enthusiasts who were still mourning the demise of the much-loved sports car E-Type. For unlike the E-Type, the XJS was a grand touring car for the then modern world. 16 years of careful refinement later, the XJS has lost none of its now classic appeal. Extensive yet subtle changes for 1992 are meant to keep the coupe and our convertible test car competitive in the tough premium luxury car market without taking away from their distinctive Jaguar character. For example, the nose sports a new European-look grille and headlamps but remains uniquely XJS. In fact, almost 40% of the car's body panels are new. Most of the new sheet metal is concentrated in the rear, which has been smoothed out and now features very contemporary tail lamps. But XJS fans will be happy to know that the huge trunk remains intact and will still easily handle a full load of luggage. And the new optional compact disc changer has been wisely mounted on a side shelf so that it doesn't interfere with loading and unloading. In addition, the XJS convertible has a handy storage locker in the space normally occupied by the coupe's rear seat. The XJS cockpit has been extensively revised for 92, eliminating many of the annoying idiosyncrasies of earlier years. The new dash is cleaner and more modern, but the extensive wood trim preserves the Jaguar mystique. The biggest improvement is a new analog gauge cluster. The old barrel-type instruments are gone, replaced by a full set of very readable round dials. The old switchgear has also been replaced, and many of the controls relocated for easier access. The seats are also new and now feature full power controls. The large, well-marked switches are mounted on the doors and include a two-position memory function for the driver's seat. There's also more padding and better back support than last year, but more thigh support is still needed. Safety is covered by the airbag mounted in the standard tilt wheel. One turn of the key is all that's required to fire the glorious 5.3-liter V12 engine that lurks beneath the XJS's sleek hood. Now equipped with Lucas digital fuel injection, it makes 263 horsepower and 288 pound-feet of torque. The V12's performance is monitored by a new, simple-to-use, multifunction trip computer. The climate controls would be similarly efficient if they weren't divided by the stereo. The sound system itself has been upgraded this year. The well-marked switches control both the AM/FM cassette and our car's before-mentioned optional CD changer. That's all very nice, but the best part is putting the 3-speed only automatic in gear and driving. Out on the road, the sharp coil spring suspension and improved engine response combine to keep our 2 tons of Jaguar moving briskly through the corners. Plow is inevitable in a heavy front-engined car, but the XJS offers plenty of grip, and even heavy bumps are soaked up with a minimum of fuss. Stopping is just as impressive. The ABS-equipped disc brakes bring it down from 60 and a smooth average of 119 feet. If it's acceleration that you want, expect to glide from 0 to 60 in 9 seconds and manage a quarter mile in 16.8 seconds at 87 miles per hour. The V12's top-heavy power band means plenty of punch for highway passing, and the smooth transmission gear changes contribute to the car's very fluid feel. It all makes getting to your destination a very enjoyable experience. Once you've arrived and unloaded, closing your XJS convertible is a simple matter. The soft boot disconnects easily through a series of simple snaps and hooks. Then it requires only the press of one switch to raise the power top. 2 latches secure it, and you're on your way. Overall, it's a pretty impressive performance for a car that was designed almost 2 decades ago. Of course, the Jaguar XJS is no ordinary car. It's the quintessential Grand Tourer, a car with both character and ability. That's becoming a rare combination in this age of sanitized luxury cars. But then the XJS is a Jaguar, and a Jaguar is still unlike any other. Like the big cat that it is named for, Jaguar has always followed a solitary path, and it shows in the design of these unique automobiles. The approach actually began with a tiny company that didn't build cars at all. Here's Jaguar's story, as told by 2 of the world's most prominent Jaguar historians.
Well, it was a long time ago, 1922. William Lyons met up with a friend, William Walmsley, who was building sidecars. And these were extremely stylish, polished aluminium devices.
And they did so well that they decided they would move to the centre of the motor industry, to Coventry. Then he branched out into making small cars, meaning that he put special bodies, sort of sports bodies, on the famous Austin 7.
Well, in 1931, Lyons launched his first car under his own name, which was SS.
And it was a sensation. It had a very long bonnet and a very short body, which was the sort of 30s look.
It was described as a 310-pound car, which looked like a 1,000-pound car. And that was very well received by the public, because here was really a supercar at an affordable price. Lyons, having put the business on a firm footing with the SS1, really wanted to back up the looks of his cars with real performance, and he hired an engineer, William Haynes, who designed an overhead valve cylinder head for the existing engine. And this was put in a new range of cars called Jaguar. That was in 1935. And really the company never looked back from that point. Along with the Jaguar saloon, there was a sports car too. And this really shook up the motoring establishment, because for £395, here was a 100-mile-an-hour sports car.
William Lyons' policy was to produce a beautiful car with exciting performance to be sold at a price so low that it was almost unbelievable. And that's what he achieved with the SS100. There was no stopping him. At the same time, he was very shrewd. The company always made a profit. He was very close with money, and he became quite strict. We used to know him in the early days as Bill Lyons. Of course, when I joined the company, that was all out of the window, and it was Mr. Lyons after that.
Lyons had many plans to develop the Jaguar range, but these were interrupted by World War II, and the company went straight into manufacturing trailers for the armed forces, and also they also manufactured aircraft fuselages. But in 1945, when hostilities ceased, the letters SS hadn't got very good connotations for rather obvious reasons, and the name of the company was changed from SS Cars to Jaguar Cars Limited. in 1948, they launched the XK120, and this was a remarkable advance. It was a smooth, civilized sports car capable of virtually 120 miles an hour.
They decided to try at Le Mans in the 24-hour race, which is the world's greatest endurance race. And they did so well with it that they were then encouraged to have a racing program. And from the XK120, they developed the famous C-type and D-type.
It was the D-type Jaguar that sired the famous E-type, or XKE, in 1961. And that was built very much on D-type lines, with a centre monocoque with a framework carrying the engine, and again powered by the XK engine. In the meantime, of course, Sir William Lyons gradually relinquished the reins of the company he'd founded in 1922, and finally retired in 1972.
In the early 70s, it looked like Jaguar might go the way of other English car companies and disappear into an oblivion of debt and bankruptcy proceedings. But that's when one of the most important figures in the company's history arrived on the scene. In 1980, John Egan became chairman of Jaguar and began the process of turning the company around. He restructured both management and manufacturing and built a strong dealer base. For his efforts, he was knighted in 1986. In 1989, he retired. That same year, Ford bought Jaguar for $2.5 billion.
Ford had progressed in itself so much during the last 10 years that if Jaguar were to be bought, they were the absolute ideal manufacturer to buy us.
Ford bought Jaguar for prestige and to add a European luxury line to their existing products. However, Ford is leaving the manufacture of Jaguar to Jaguar. The manufacturing plants and engineering center are located in Coventry, England. We asked what effect Ford would have on Jaguar operations.
Well, we've already made some quite major investments in modernization, but the thing that we really have to do in our business is to maintain what we believe is the proper balance between automation, efficiency, and something that's very special to Jaguar, which is the craftsmanship that you don't find usually in car companies around the world these days. We have a lot of old craft skills, particularly in the area of wood and leather craftsmanship, and we're trying to maintain the proper balance in retaining those skills while at the same time being an efficient and modern producer of quality cars.
In 1990, Jaguar produced almost 43,000 cars, with 40% of those coming to the United States. While the U.S. recession and new luxury tax have depressed sales, America remains a prime Jaguar market.
We owe a lot to America. And we owe a lot to Americans, not only because they enjoyed the cars and appreciated the cars, but also, of course, as the distributors and dealers who helped us, and in some cases taught us very much about marketing.
The quality of Jaguars has always been an issue, with their products scoring high in the number of defects per car.
We've already made very substantial progress on that over the last 18 months. And in fact, today we're looking at quality levels as we measure it as the cars come off the production line. The quality of the cars is already between 50 and 65% better than it was just a year ago.
Quality is obviously the number one issue, because without quality, you're simply not a player in the automobile business any longer. But if we had to identify one thing that is the aim of Jaguar, and for that matter the Ford management, it is to preserve the Jaguarness of Jaguar.
While road cars are Jaguar's most important products, racing has always been a big part of the company's mystique. Well, that tradition of innovation and excellence in engineering continues today in both Europe and the U.S. Let's join Lisa Barrow for a look at Jaguar racing in the 90s.
Coming down the straightaway, it's Hawthorne in the number 6 Jaguar. He's going to take the checkered flag.
And the XJR 14 wins again. What a spectacular race at Nürburgring.
It creates something of an aura of success for Jaguar. It's something we're good at, something where we can take on the biggest manufacturers in the world on an equal basis and more often than not beat them.
Jaguar's current racing program finds its roots in the U.S.-based Group 44, run by Bob Tullius from 1982 to 1987. Today, the winning force behind the program is Tom Walkinshaw Racing.
Well, we started racing with Jaguar in 1980. We've obviously been quite successful. We've won a couple of World Championships, European Championship, and we've had the car in the podium in 70% of the races we've ever entered. We've finished in the first 3.
In Europe, the Silk Cut-sponsored Jaguar team competes in the World Sports Car Championship, or Group C Series. That includes the world-famous Le Mans endurance race, which they won in 1988 and 1990. That success continued in 1991 with the introduction of their latest race car, the XJR 14. Unlike many Group C cars, the XJR 14 is an advanced Formula One-derived design. It's powered by a 3.5-liter normally aspirated V8 engine, which was developed specifically for Jaguar by Cosworth.
The main priority is the aerodynamic shape of the car. That's what really shapes it, controls the packaging of the car.
Even though this car dominated many of the shorter Group C races this year, Tom Walkinshaw has his eye set on winning Le Mans.
You know, to do the 24 hours at Le Mans, we'll have to redesign the car and apply it to that particular function. But for the sprint races, which are predominantly 500 kilometers, that's what the car is designed to do, and that's what it does very well.
Here in the States, Jaguar competes in the IMSA GTP series, and TWR has been running this program too, since 1988. For the 1991 season, the Bud Light-sponsored Jaguar team unveiled a new car of its own, the XJR 16, which had an impressive debut at Road Atlanta when driver Davy Jones took the checkered flag by over a minute.
I think XJR 16 is probably, the best Jaguar car that we've had for the IMSA series so far.
No, what we've done is drawn on the expertise that was involved with the 14, the wind tunnel engineers and aerodynamicists.
And that's where the similarities between the XJR 14 and the XJR 16 end. The XJR 16 gets its power from a twin turbocharged V6. The car evolved out of a need to improve on the aerodynamic, suspension, and braking components of its predecessor. This enables it to better handle the variety of tracks encountered on the IMSA Camel GTP circuit. So far, the XJR 16 has performed well for a new design, dominating several of this year's races, and that's a trend Jaguar hopes will continue.
As far back as 1951, Jaguar's image to a very large extent has been built on its success in motor racing. So we feel it's part of our heritage. We feel it contributes technology, which eventually will find its way through to our production cars.
Racing has produced many of the most important technical innovations found in today's cars. It's also given birth to the supercar, mighty road-going monsters like the Ferrari F40 and the Lamborghini Diablo. Well, these racing cars that aren't have become very important to the prestige of many car companies, and Jaguar is no exception. But the Coventry-based firm wanted to do more than just build another fast, expensive sports car. Once again, Jaguar turned to the services of racer Tom Walkinshaw. The result is the Jaguar Sport XJR 15. Based on Jaguar's XJR 9 race car, the XJR 15 is unique, even by supercar standards. Unlike the Ferraris and Lamborghinis of the world, the XJR 15 is not street legal. Well, not exactly. 50 were built for the stated purpose of racing in a one-make series called the Jaguar Sport Intercontinental Challenge. The series consisted of 3 races held as supporting events for the 1991 Grand Prix of Monaco, England, and Belgium, with the winner of the final race taking home a $570,000 prize. Most of the cars were driven by professional racers. The names of the wealthy owners remain a closely guarded secret. After all, would you want the tax man finding out that you had a spare $285,000 to blow on one car? For that astounding price, the owners got a stunning mid-engine coupe powered by a 6-liter, 450-horsepower Jaguar V12 racing engine. The cockpit is a bare carbon fiber tub, but is easily roomy enough to accommodate another seat. Curiously enough, the car also lacks the ground effects that are taken for granted on modern race cars and carries full street-legal lighting. When pressed, some Jaguar insiders admitted that the XJR 15 could easily be made street-legal and that they fully expect that some will be. Since it weighs only 2,300 pounds, the XJR 15 is astonishingly quick. But with no downforce producing ground effects, the car tends to be tail happy and makes it a real challenge to drive fast. The limited numbers of XJR 15s built for the Intercontinental Challenge also means that every one of them is already a more desirable collector's item than an F40 or Diablo. That's unusual, even for a supercar, and proves that the Jaguar Sport XJR 15 is in a class by itself. Jaguar's history continues to be written even as we speak. So here's Lisa Barrow with the latest news about the cars from Coventry.
The big news this week, John, is the Jaguar XJ220 is finally coming. In its original form, the XJ220 was a stunning all-wheel drive supercar, powered by a massive Jaguar V12 racing engine. But like many show cars, it changed significantly before reaching production. Today's XJ220 will soon begin its limited run of 350 cars, all of which have been sold for $500,000 apiece. The final car is shorter than the original and now uses a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 to power only the rear wheels. But this hasn't lessened performance. The XJ220 recently posted a top speed of 212 miles per hour in testing, making it the fastest production car in the world. Unfortunately, it won't be sold in the U.S. A Jaguar that will be sold here, John, is an upcoming mid-range model. It's a smaller, six-cylinder sedan built to compete with the BMW 5 Series. The car is set to debut towards the end of the decade, and our best guess is that it will be priced slightly under $40,000.
A true Jaguar fanatic knows everything about these cars, right down to the smallest detail. But regular car fans usually require the assistance of an expert. Fortunately, we have two such aficionados on the MotorWeek staff, High Road producer Craig Singhas and our mechanical expert Pat Goss. We recently put these two together with some fine old Jaguars, and now all you have to do is sit back, listen, and learn.
Ah, St. Louis, a convenient place for me to cross paths with Pat Goss. But more than that, it was home to the Jaguar Clubs of North America's biennial meet. Luckily for a Jag enthusiast like myself, Pat Goss turned out to know a wealth of technical information about Coventry's best.
Now, this is an SS100, right?
That's right. This is where the Jaguar name began, was with the SS100 back in 1935. In that era, this was made by the SS Motor Car Company, and Jaguar was just a model.
That's six-cylinder?
Six-cylinder. It's a pushrod engine, 3.5 liters in this particular one, develops 125 horsepower.
God, it's gorgeous. You know, it's funny because it's got the long bonnet, short bustle look that, well, you see in a lot of sports cars even today.
Oh, yeah. If you look at all of the older MGs and you look at the Morgans, even if you think about Corvette, long nose, short tail on it. And certainly it was influenced by this particular car.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It sure is.
Now, between my always handy history book and Pat's ever-patient tutoring, I got quite a thorough post-war Jaguar education as well.
Now, this is a 120, right?
Actually an XK 120, and the XK comes from the engine that's in it. That was designated as an XK engine. That was the first dual overhead cam, six-cylinder inline engine that Jaguar used. And actually the car itself was designed as a test bed for this particular engine. But the body was so admired and so successful that they actually went into production on it. Okay, you know where the 120 comes from?
Top speed.
You got that right.
On drum brakes.
Yeah, think about it. Craig, this is an XKSS, and this is what I would consider to be a landmark car as far as Jaguar is concerned. Now what this is, it's a very thinly disguised race car. Came from the D-Type.
The D-Type had the big fin in the back,
That's right, very noticeable. Now, one of the big things about this particular car is that it had four-wheel disc brakes, which made it an absolute terror on the racetrack.
Almost an E-Type you can see in styling, right?
That's right.
Now, as a kid, this is what I remember a sports car looked like.
Well, you and just about everybody else in the world as well. This, of course, is the E-Type Jag. Now, in the States, we always referred to these as XKEs, but the real name was E-Type Jag.
It's quite a car. Now, they had what? Independent rear suspension?
All sorts of innovations on this. They had four-wheel disc brakes, inboard disc brakes on the rear, independent rear suspension, dual overhead cam engine.
It's a gorgeous car.
Oh, yes.
And they were fast, too, right? It was 0 to 60 in what, under 7 seconds or something like that?
That's right. And all of that was as a result of the basic XK engine that was introduced back in the 120 that we saw earlier. Fabulous engine, and they just keep refining it.
Yeah, it's incredible when you think about it, what Jaguar contributed so much to the industry. I mean, the independent rears and the discs, it's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, all of that. And the interesting thing about it is they had it all on one car right here.
It's quite a mark, isn't it?
It sure is.
The people of Jaguar are fond of a certain saying. Its past is very much its future. And it's true that few companies have held so firmly to tradition while looking so far ahead. They've never lost sight of what makes a Jaguar a Jaguar. And through all the company's ups and downs, that vision has remained intact, giving us some of the world's most desirable cars and allowing thousands of drivers to savor the roar of the cat. I'm John Davis. We'll see you next week.
MotorWeek 92 is made possible by funding from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the financial support of viewers like you. If you'd like a transcript of this program, send $4 to MotorWeek Transcripts, Owings Mills, Maryland 21117. Residents of Maryland at 20 cents sales tax. Ask for show number 1105. MotorWeek is a production of Maryland Public Television.
The MotorWeek app, which includes our latest reviews and feature stories, is now available for mobile devices.